Moon Knight. The TV show I was looking forward to the most is now over. And now I have nothing to look forward to on Disney+. This series honestly rivaled Daredevil since the first episode, and it was all gas and no brakes, if you don't count waiting a week for the next episode. From the acting of Oscar Isaac, Ethan Hawke, and May Kalamaui to the intense action scenes, Moon Knight was a fun series to watch while it lasted. Now, unlike a movie review, on top of the fact that this series has been out since March 30th and me being late with this review, I'm just going to go straight into the review without a spoiler warning. With reviews, I like to start off with the negative and move more into the positive. And honestly, there really isn't much I can say as far as the negative for this series. If I had to say something negative about Moon Knight, probably the only thing I would say is that how short it was. Only 6 episodes for an amazing character and a talented cast?
Nah, bruh.
Bring back another season. If any Disney Plus show deserves a second season, it's Moon Knight. And before anyone says it, yes, I'm aware that it is a miniseries, and a miniseries is meant to be short. Just like Marvel's Avengers, one of the most underrated Marvel shows. Other than that, I really can't say anything else as far as negative things for Moon Knight. Now on to the good. I noticed a lot of references to the Moon Knight series through my research on the character for the video that I was supposed to do on Moon Knight a long time ago. One of my favorites being in episode 5 when Mark and Steven were exploring Mark's past and how he became Moon Knight.
Turns out going AWOL in a fugue state gets you discharged from the military. Didn't have a ton of options after that, so I went work for hire for my old CO Bushman.
If you didn't know, Mark was in the United States Marine Corps. That dishonorable discharge that he mentioned was a reference to that. It did kind of suck that Bushman wasn't in the show, as he was the one who actually beat the shit out of Mark and left him for dead. But I understand, there's only so much in the miniseries that you can fit in. I also admire the fact that Marvel mentioned Mark's religion. He is Jewish, though he does not practice it much in the comics. There are a lot more references, but those are the two that I really want to point out. And not gonna lie, now that I think about it too, as much as I wanted to see it, I wanted to see John Bernthal return as a Punisher in the series, just as a reference for them being Marines. The action in the series were the best and most violent among the Disney Plus shows. I feel like the boundaries were being pushed to its limit with the violence. It was enough to not have the kids getting nightmares on the violence of the Moon Man eviscerating the bad guys. Not only Mark and Steven and Jake, but also Layla put up some good fights. Next, the acting. And I'll start off with Oscar Isaac. This man really did well at bouncing back and forth between Mark Spector and Stephen Grant, especially when going from an American accent to a British accent. Not to mention that post-credit scene that I'll get to later. Oscar Isaac was honestly the best part of the series, and his performance was one of the most enjoyable parts of the series. Next, Layla. For those who may not know, Layla replaced Marlene from the comics as Mark's love interest for the series. This was a decision from the writers as they wanted the character to be Egyptian and have connection to her homeland. Me personally, I'm more for comic accuracy, though I did welcome this change. And I must say, this was actually a great change, as Kalamaui killed the role and showed how amazing of an actress she is. Even her Scarlet Scarab costume was amazing, even if it did give me some Wonder Woman 1984 vibes. A fun fact too is that I'm a day older than Layla. And lastly, Ethan Hawke. This man really portrayed a menacing villain as he drew inspiration from Vincent D'Onofrio's portrayal as Kingpin from Daredevil. You can tell by the way he speaks. It's almost like a raspy, low-tone, intimidating voice that says, "I'm a respectful and reasonable person, but push me to the edge and you'll feel my wrath." My last point that I want to highlight is Jake Lockley.
Hoy te toca perder.
Wait.
This fool has been absent for 99% of the show and didn't even show up until the last episode. I was wondering if he was ever going to show up, especially considering his sarcophagus was teased in the 4th episode in the hospital and his brutal kills when neither Mark or Steven were in control. His reveal at the end of the episode was a welcome sight, especially when he tells Harold that it's his time to lose, and Jake silences him. Other than those points, I feel like the plot was fine. The other holy shit. Other than those points that I mentioned, I feel like the plot was fine. The other characters like Khonshu and Amit look good. on screen. And honestly, I give Moon Knight an 8.5 out of 10. I will definitely say that it's the best Disney Plus show compared to the other ones. Now, when compared to the other shows, including the ones on Netflix, I'd say it's second only to Daredevil. Now, with all that being said, let me know what you thought about Moon Knight. Was it good? Was it horrible? Was it alright? Let me know what you think. Side note, remember that working on characters before a show releases quote that I said a few months ago? In the meantime, I'll be working on what I used to do on my Comics Respect account and introducing characters in the TV show from the comics before the show or movie release, so y'all know who the hell y'all watching and compare and contrast it to. Yeah, I fucked up. I apologize for not fulfilling my promise. I do have some ideas for what's to come in the future, but I don't want to make any announcements about it because I know I'm inconsistent. But it is definitely something I will improve on from here, especially now that I'm done with college. Other than that, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.